Well, mic work is what makes it entertaining. It's also what gets you interested in the product. It's what keeps you coming back. It's because this guy can get on a mic and convince you that he hates that guy. It's like I can get on a mic and convince you that I absolutely hate Rogie Rogue and that he's a piece of shit and that I want to beat the hell out of him. That'll get you interested in watching me fight Rogie Rogue. You know what I mean? That'll get you to buy the pay-per-view. That'll get you to tune in next week because I might beat the crap out of him next week. You don't know. But they are playing with a handicap. They have that PG thing where they can only go so far. They have to watch what they say. They're, you know, a lot of them don't have the freedom to just go out there and say whatever they want. Like, if you listen to a lot of people talk, you know, they say the greatest thing about the Attitude Era was like, they would tell you, okay, you're, you know, they'd say to Ric Flair, like, you're fighting Steamboat in North Carolina August 1st, go. And he would just go and say whatever came into his head and talk you into coming to the show. Now it's like, okay, we need you to say this, this, and this. Make sure you get this line in because this is what, like, now they're writing a TV show instead of wrestling. They used to the knock that used to be on WCW. I think this is an interesting thing. The knock that they used to say, like when they talk about why WCW failed and whatever, a lot of people will say, well, they failed because WWE was a wrestling company who had a TV show, and WCW was a TV company who tried to do a wrestling show. And like when you think about that, that's kind of what WWE is now. WWE is a wrestling company who's trying to write a soap opera, like Twisted said. Like they're trying to write like this great masterpiece of performance art. And like it's not, dude, it's wrestling. The formula's been the same since the 30s. Good guy, bad guy, they hate each other, they want to fight. They fight. All this like, oh no, Ricochet is the dad. Yeah, exactly. Like this is the crap that muddies it all up. Ricochet's the dad. No, I was just kidding. It's really Rusev. What? But does it get people talking about it in the right way? Right? Like there's that saying like, oh well, yeah, see, but I feel like it does. Like I don't buy the saying like, oh, any publicity is good publicity. Like I don't buy that because like if people are literally laughing at you, and that's why they're talking about it. Like, did you see that dumb stuff that WWE did last night? Like, is that really good? Like, do you want to be the joke? Like. They make money because it's all the kids, man. Kids are keeping that company afloat right now with merchandise sales and ads. But I just feel like this time period is very reminiscent of when the Attitude Era kicked off. Because a lot of the reason why the Attitude Era kicked off is because WWE realized that a lot of the kids that were watching wrestling in like the Hogan era, you know, Hogan, Warrior, Andre, Savage, those wrestling fans that were kids at that time were now grown up a little and teenagers, and they needed a more edgy thing for it still to be cool. And I feel like then, after the Attitude Era changed, they reset. But now I'd say to them that, you know, the kids who watched Cena and Roman and Seth and whoever else are now grown up and want something cooler. Now they've grown up and said, I can't watch that wrestling crap anymore. I can't believe I liked it when I was a kid. So it's like a cycle, you know? And that's what AEW is trying to capitalize on. AEW is trying to come in and say, no, wait, I know you don't watch wrestling anymore, but you should watch our wrestling because it's not that soap opera stuff. We're a sport. So WWE's counter is NXT. Will it work? I don't know. That's the hard part. I don't think it will. At least I don't think it's going to work the way they want it to work. Let's put it that way. I don't think it's going to work the way they think it will. And don't get me wrong, like, I love the WWE Network, but I still feel like a lot of me still feels like the WWE Network was such a bad decision. Like a good and a bad decision at the same time. Like it was a good idea, but I think what they ended up actually doing with it killed it. Yeah, I think that's what's gonna... No, I agree, Twisted. I want everything to matter too. I want everybody on the roster to have some kind of story going on, even if it's not the biggest of stories. You know, maybe it's just, you know, Tyler Breeze doesn't like this guy, so here's a match, but they hate each other and they, you know, have some kind of beef or whatever. Like, give me something throughout the entire show that matters, not let's center on Seth Rollins and everything he's got going on in his life. And then, oh, by the way, we have these other people too, they're going to wrestle for you. %. Definitely handcuff them. That's why I think they brought NXT. That's the reason why I think, in all reality, they brought NXT up. Because Raw and SmackDown have to be a certain way. NXT can kind of be different and better compete with AEW. It's not even nothing special occurring. It's the dumb things that they do, okay? So you go to Clash of Champions, you have both tag titles change hands, right? So Dolph and Rude win the Raw tag team titles. The Revival wins the SmackDown tag team titles. Fast forward to Monday, you have Braun Strowman literally beat the crap out of both of your tag team champions the night after they win them. Because Braun lost last night, so we have to bring him back on Monday and make him look strong. But guess what? Screw the tag teams. We just made both tag team champions look awful. They could have had him squash some local talent like they've been doing with the Viking Raiders. They could have done literally anything. They could have had him beat up any number of other tag teams besides the tag team champions. But you devalued 4 champions to make Braun look stronger. Even though Braun loses everything. Literally every big match Braun's been in, he loses. Which makes it even worse that he just beat the crap out of the tag team champion. It's awful. It's just awful, dumb things like that. Like, I just don't understand where they come up with this stuff. Well, that's the problem. The problem is that it's not really a creative team, it's a group of writers. And writers write TV shows. So they're trying to write a TV show, but like I said, it's wrestling. Like, there's a very basic formula for wrestling that you can follow, and it's proven time and time again that it works. You don't have to reinvent the wheel here. Like, it's not... Like, sure, how you do it changes a little bit, but the very essence of what wrestling is never changes. And I feel like they're trying to change it. They're trying to turn it into this thing that it isn't. So, I'm just reading how, like, the origins of Monday Night Raw, right? And it sounds remarkably like NXT. So, this paragraph makes me really think of NXT in a way. So, Raw originated from the Grand Ballroom at the Manhattan Center, a small New York City theater, and aired live each week. The combination of an intimate venue and live action proved to be a successful improvement. The weekly live schedule was bad on them financially, so they started taping several weeks worth of episodes in advance. But it was only an hour when it started, and they had a very small theater that they taped in. Sound familiar? It's NXT. So, what, we're about 10 years from NXT being 3 hours? The simulation moves in cycles, Raiders. That's what I'm saying. Like, just don't understand. So, I don't know. I don't know what they need to do in order to actually compete with AEW. I don't know if they can compete with AEW at this point. I feel like no matter what happens, I feel like they're going to be behind. I don't think anybody's going to really win, though. That's the weird thing. Like, I don't feel like there's going to be a definite winner. Like, you're going to have someone who gets better TV ratings, but I don't feel like that necessarily means that, like, and I think that's going to be AEW just because of the nature of the WWE network, but I don't think that necessarily will mean that AEW wins. Like, I feel like it just, people are going to watch NXT later on. Like, I feel like the wrestling fans are going to find a way to watch both. And whoever wins the TV ratings are basically only really winning over the casual fans because the hardcore ones have the network. So it's, I don't know, it's just odd. It's like an odd time, like. The other thing that, like, really weirds me out is, like, why. So AEW was clearly not looking for a fight, right? Like, they weren't, like, yeah, they were talking shit, whatever, but when it comes to, like, head-to-head on TV, they clearly weren't looking to do that. So why did WWE feel like they had to? Like, why did WWE feel like we gotta move NXT? Like, NXT was fine where it was at. Nothing wrong with where NXT was. Why did WWE feel like, hey, we need to put NXT here? Or was it just USA said, hey, we'll give you a ton of money to do it? But then again, why would USA want to go head to head with TNT? Like, USA could have stayed out of it completely. So the whole situation to me is just really weird. It's like a Cold War. But like I said, it just doesn't... It just absolutely doesn't make sense. I didn't see this before. I've never seen this before. But this was from WWE.com. I guess last month, August 20th, this got posted. When they announced that they were going to be moving to USA. And then it says, airing on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., NXT has been WWE's network's #1 weekly series, obviously. The new 2-hour NXT weekly show will also be available on demand on WWE Network every Thursday night beginning at 10 p.m. Eastern. NXT TakeOver events will continue to stream live exclusively on WWE Network. So, there you go. Every Thursday at 10 p.m. you can watch NXT on WWE Network. Why would you miss AEW then? That's gonna be where they fail. Yeah, no, I agree, Twisted, but avoid spoilers. Yeah, but I mean, if you manage to avoid spoilers, NXT was taped before, so if you managed to avoid spoilers before, you could do it now. You know what else I think hurts WWE? Honestly, their social media. I've been thinking about this a lot, actually, and like, there's sometimes where I just am like, I don't want to watch Raw. But then all night long, my phone blows up with Twitter notifications of WWE basically live tweeting Monday Night Raw. You're not giving anybody a reason to watch. Because I don't have to watch, and I'll just see what happens when you tell me what happens on Twitter. And it'll be the same with NXT. You'll literally, this is what everybody's gonna do. Everybody's gonna sit there, put on AEW, and then sit there with their phones and wait to see if something cool happens on NXT that WWE tweets about. So that's literally what you're gonna see. You're gonna sit here and you're gonna go, oh, I have a Twitter notification. Cool. Lio Rush is back. And I'll keep watching AEW. It's brutal. It's brutal. Absolutely brutal. I always tell people the thing that made wrestling great during the Monday Night War wasn't the actual wrestling. It wasn't really the storylines. Like, yeah, they were better than they are now. It was just that feeling that you never knew what was going to happen week to week. You just never knew. You know, Mick Foley wins the title on TV. What? Like, who would have thought? You never knew what was going to happen week to week, so you felt like you had to watch it. They gave you a reason to have to watch it. Now, I know that I don't have to sit there and watch Monday Night Raw, because literally everything that happens the moment it happens, WWE themselves is going to tweet. And I could just keep track of it that way. I really hope AEW doesn't make that same mistake. Stay off Twitter during the shows. Put stuff out after the shows. You can put out all the GIFs, all the little clips, all the highlights that you want. During the shows, stay off Twitter. Give people a reason to actually turn on their TV. It is dumb, Cat. It is dumb. Because like I said, I literally feel like I have no reason to actually watch the TV show. Because I can literally just flip through it and find out everything that's happening as they tweet about it. Hope they keep trying like they did with Harper. Yeah, no, those are legit surprises. No one knew Harper was coming back. Lio Rush, no one knew. Sasha Banks, no one knew. All the rumor websites, Dave Meltzer, no one was saying, hey, guess what? Look out for Luke Harper to be coming back. No one had a clue. That's when it's great. That's when wrestling's fun, just like the Hardy Boys. No one knew the Hardy Boys was going to show up at WrestleMania that year. That's when wrestling's awesome. Now, like, Mysterio at Rumble, like, all kinds of stuff. They when they want to keep... That's why I think, like, low-key, when you hear these rumors, and the rumors actually end up being true, low-key, it's WWE telling these people. For whatever reason. Whether it's trying to hype people, or whatever, but they're definitely telling people. But, like, I'm looking at the WWE's Twitter right now, and literally, as everything was happening, they were tweeting it. Like, just look at the timestamps. Like, WWE Network, 4 hours ago, welcome back, Leo Rush. Like, oh, cool, Leo came back. Oh, look, Imperium showed up. Oh, hey, Walter. Like, literally, like, they give you the play-by-play on Twitter. So this is what's going to happen. Like, I'm just scrolling through the timeline. I'm trying to find the start of NXT on Twitter. Alright, yeah, so 5 hours ago, we were here, we were live, NXT. They're even, like, tweeting, I don't know if you can see it. They're even tweeting, like, screen grabs of the graphics of, like, the opening. Like, that, like, what? Like, I can literally watch all of NXT through Twitter, through GIFs. So this is what's gonna happen. You'll sit there, you'll watch AEW, and then you'll be following along on Twitter like, oh wow, what a cool moonsault to the outside from Io Shirai. Wow. Oh, cool. Candice LeRae's the #1 contender. Like, literally, that's how everybody's gonna watch wrestling on Wednesdays. There's no reason to watch the show. It's so bad. I hate it. And I know I sound like a old-timey wrestling purist, like, wow, back in my day. Like, that's not how I'm trying to be. It's simple, people. Like, give people a reason to watch. Your whole business is about selling. You know, selling's a term they use in wrestling for many different things, but, like, at the end of the day, you're trying to sell your product to people. You're trying to get people to watch what you're doing. There's no, like, if you're gonna live tweet everything, there's no reason to watch it. You have to get people hooked on that fear of missing out. That's what gets people to turn on the TV. Why do you think... And it blows my mind because, like, people watch sports because they want to see it happen live. Because once you know, like, you can't go back. Well, me personally, I can't speak for everyone, but me personally, like, I'm a hockey fan. If I miss the Flyers game, the moment someone tells me the score, I can't watch it. Because I know, like, I already know. Like, I don't know. So, you have to watch it live because you don't want to miss it. Because once you miss it, that's it. But if if you're gonna live tweet the whole thing, and I can feel like I'm actually still watching it just by looking at Twitter, there's no reason for me to be worried about missing it. And that's where WWE needs to get better. Do better, WWE. I know you're watching. Take all our ideas anyway. Craziness. Pure craziness. Alright, so let's open up for some questions, guys. I'll answer some questions for a little while. If you guys have any questions about anything, want my thoughts and opinion on something, Cat, what is your question? Why are you so awesome? I'm not. not awesome, just a guy who does a thing. I try to just have fun. Hopefully you guys enjoy stuff like this. I feel like it's just me rambling for 2 hours at this point, but you know, I just am opinionated about things. Not everybody always agrees with me, but hopefully we'll do this more. Maybe I'll turn it into an actual podcast. I've been looking into doing a podcast. We'll see. What's up, Rogie Rogue? I didn't. You guys told me. I never knew I was the songbird of a generation. I never wanted that honor. You guys just bestowed it upon me. When will Crazy Canuck get good? Oof. That's just mean. Be nice to Crazy Canuck. Crazy Canuck's a good Canadian fellow. Serious question, though. And I'm ready for a serious question. Serious. What game would I remaster from any time period? Oof. That's a good one. Man, there's so many good games from back in the day. I think if I'm remastering a game, though, I'm doing like a... It's gotta be like a PS1 game. I don't know. I mean, Quake still kind of holds up. Like, Quake's not too bad. The hard part about this question is that there's already so much... there's already so much that people have remastered, right? Like, a lot of the good games from back in the day have already been remastered. Because immediately when you ask me the question, I jump to, like, you know, something like Doom, but that's been done. Turok's been done. It's tough. Maybe remaster something. Oh man. Ooh, I've got it. I've got it. You guys remember GTA 1 and 2? How it was like top down. It looked real weird. I'd like to see them take GTA 1 and 2 and make it into a current day style GTA. That would be fun. Good night, Cat. Thank you for hanging out. Very much appreciated. I don't want a mod. I want like an actual game. That would be fun. Other than that, like everything else that I liked as a kid has gotten remastered. Crash Bandicoot, Final Fantasy VII's coming. Channel 1 Plus, thank you for the host. You're in the right place to see a man get their ass whipped. So when it comes to remastering games, it's hard to pick. I mean, there's games that, yeah, there's other games that I've played as like as a kid that I really love. That like I don't think anybody's ever heard of, like Tenchu, Stealth Assassin. Love that game. Love to see that come back. There's stuff like that, but like as far as like hugely successful games, there's not really a lot left to remaster. GoldenEye, I guess you could do, but like, I feel like if you remastered GoldenEye, it would basically be a Call of Duty, right? Like, those are the types of games that are weird to remaster, because I feel like while there isn't a current day version of it, like, it's not called GoldenEye, but like every first person shooter is basically GoldenEye, because that's what they want. Could have used. Knights of the Old Republic would be cool, but like, I still feel like that would end up being a lot like the current Star Wars games. 'Cause that's the hard part. Like, even they're remastering like Final Fantasy VII, and I feel like they're not like they're basically making it like a modern day. A modern day, a modern day RPG. So, I don't know. It's tough. What would you remaster, Rogue Rogue, besides Knights of the Old Republic? Because you already said that. Medal of Honor. Medal of Honor was good. What classic game would you remaster from any generation? I feel like you could just throw out like Super Nintendo games, though. Really? You'd go all the way back to Sega? I feel like those games wouldn't hold up today. Like, even if you look at like Super Mario, which has still had like sequels and stuff, they've changed the way they've played. Like, I don't think you could remaster a platformer and have it still be the same game. They did remaster Fallout 3. It was called Fallout 4. No, I get what you're saying, though. I don't think they could, like that's the thing. I don't know how well a platformer, like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know, like, if they would be able to hold up. Like, I feel like even if they upgraded it, try to do like a 2D, 3D hybrid, I feel like it wouldn't feel the same and you'd be disappointed. Not an online multiplayer. Fallout 4 was an online multiplayer. Fallout 76 was online multiplayer. I thought Fallout 4 was great. I didn't realize people didn't like it. Yeah, I mean, but any game has its negatives, right? I thought Fallout 76. I think what ended up happening with Fallout 76 is I think that it ultimately, a lot of people had expectations about it that ended up not coming to fruition with it. Like, it ended up not being anywhere near what people thought it was going to be. Which hurt it in the long run. Like, Fallout 76 had potential, but then it just didn't deliver. Like, and then it became one of those games. Whenever you have to tell people, like, "Oh, that game's not so bad, but it's better if you play it with friends." Whenever you have to tell people that, there's an issue. Like, there's an issue with your game. Because one of their selling points was that you were going to be able to play it single player and go through it like any other Fallout game, but you had the option of playing with your friends. Fallout 76 was one of those games where it was like, it's alright. Yeah, it's better if is not a ringing endorsement with any game. No matter what comes after if. It's a game built on greed, though. I'd say a lot of games are built like that nowadays, though. Microtransactions have destroyed video games for the last, what, 10 years? At least? Most games are better with friends. But when you have to say that about a game, like when you're asked about a game and you go, "Oh, you know, it's alright, but it's better if you play with friends," there's an issue. Because most games are, yeah, obviously most games are better with friends, but you don't have to say that about a game if it's a good game. Because what you're really saying is, yeah, like, this game sucks, but if you play with friends, it's fun. I wish games would do away with microtransactions. I miss the days of unlock content just by playing the game. Like back in the Sega days, and even like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 days. Yeah, exactly. Minecraft's a game where, like, yeah, you can go in there, you can play with it by yourself, and you'll have just as much fun. The fun is increased when you add friends, but you don't need friends to make it fun like Fallout 76. Hamilton Swisher, thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated. Welcome in. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you're doing well. Here's a big Ric Flair. Woo! What about WWE games? I hate it. I hate DLC. I hate it. Absolutely. Like, I hate the fact that, like, oh, the roster of wrestlers is 100 people, but let's see, it comes out October, so it's like, but in December, it'll go up to 110 people if you pay another $10. And then again in February, it'll go up to 120 people if you pay another $10. Like, I feel like DLC sucks. Like, put that stuff on there, make me play the game and accomplish things in the game to unlock people. Not just, oh, we're gonna, you know, make you pay $10 to unlock this stuff later on. Like, I can't, like, I don't know why. You pretty much have to buy the accelerator. Honestly, and as a streamer who streams WWE, you basically, you have to get the deluxe edition because you need all that content. Otherwise, You significantly water down what people can do when they're creating their characters. And then you have to use the accelerator because you need all that stuff unlocked right away. But they know what they're doing. It's all a business model. Nope. So it's just, I don't know. It's, I think DLC sucks. I think it's ridiculous. The other thing I hate is, and I've been saying this for a long time, ever since, you know, the ability to patch games and stuff has come, I feel like a lot of companies don't actually finish their games anymore, and they just rush it out. That's why every time you pop in a new game when it first comes out, you have a day one stream. I mean, day one download, which is ridiculous. What are you already patching on the first day? Like, it's because your game wasn't finished. But the video game industry, like, has been hurt by, like, a lot of things. Like, when you think about, even, like, prices. Prices are crazy. And I've said this before, like, Xbox launched that Xbox that has, no disc. It's all digital. So, like, but, like, at that point, shouldn't the games become cheaper? If we move to an all-digital thing and you're not actually producing discs and stuff anymore, shouldn't games become a little bit cheaper? Because the reason why they're so expensive is because you're producing the production of the discs. Like, you figure that's factored into the cost, right? The production of the discs, how much it costs to ship the discs everywhere, and put them in all the stores and whatever, and then you're trying to get that money back. That's why they're $65 now to buy a video game. But if I'm buying a game digitally, and you didn't have to ship it to me, and you didn't have to print a disc out, or make a case, or whatever else, like, it should be cheaper. I have a feeling they're going to be cracking down on game share real soon, especially if they're looking to go all digital. They're definitely going to crack down on game sharing. No, yeah, you can only share it with one other person, but I mean, even if you bought a disc, like, yeah, sure, the chance of it breaking is there, but let's just say, for the sake of argument, you and all your friends take super good care of your games. If you buy a disc, you can share it with all your friends too when you're done with it, right? Like, sure, not at the same time, but if I have 5 friends that all want to play the same game, they could not buy it, and it's like, once I beat it, I'll give it to you, and then once you beat it, give it to our other friend, and you can pass it around that way, and they're still not making money off of it. Channel 1 Plus, thank you for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed your stay. Have fun at the next stream. Bleakland549724, thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated. Welcome in. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you're doing well. Give yourself a big Ric Flair. Woo! Bleakland549724. Thank you for the host. Should the right place to see a man get their ass whipped. It's all online. Signing the profile requires Wi-Fi, right? I mean, Wi-Fi, or if you could do it from your phone, you could always set up your phone to be a hotspot, which means you could do it from like 4G. Still get the same, effect. So it's, you know. The scary part about digital games is that the scary part is that, like, you don't actually ever own it. If you look at like the terms of service, a lot of these things, they're able to basically delete a game whenever they want. So whenever they decide that they just don't want to have whatever game on their platform anymore, they can just delete it. And then you lose it and whatever. So you spent $65 on it and it's gone. Very rarely happens, but it is still a possibility. I'm not sure what that is, Smiler. Oh, the Google platform they're coming out with? So let's see it. Let's look it up. Let's talk about it. Oh, it's where you could stream games, right? I'm gonna start thinking government conspiracy. It's consoleless and it's streaming. Now, I don't think it's going to catch on. And the reason why, yeah. You never know about servers. You never know, PlayStation tried doing it, it failed because when you stream that much data to things, you have to have super good internet. And if you have the best of the best internet, yeah, you'll be fine. You could probably do it. But it's not going to be the same. And not only that, but you're still going to have to buy the games. So you're going to have to buy the games for $60. So it's not like if they did it Netflix style, where they just had a library of games and you paid $10 a month and you could play them, like you could stream them and you don't really own them, so if your subscription runs out, you can't play them anymore, fine. But I'm not going to pay $60 and have to worry about server lag and all that stuff to stream a game. I don't see the point. I'd rather just buy an Xbox, download this game, and just have it. And then the only thing I have to worry about lag with is if I'm playing online. I was reading Hamilton, sorry. PlayStation tried it. I think the reason why PlayStation failed was because it was a lot of what you could stream was like older games. But honestly, this Google thing is basically kind of like the Xbox cloud technology, where you'll be able to play anywhere and stuff like that. But I don't know. I still like the idea of having a console and not trying to stream everything. Here we go. Stadia's recommended minimum bandwidth is 10 megabits per second. That's enough for 720p gameplay. No one plays. So it's gonna be, you're gonna need really good internet to do it. Basically is what we're saying. Superman, what's up? I'm so against a new generation of consoles. Cottony Smiler, thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated. Welcome in. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you're doing well. Give yourself a big Ric Flair. Woo! Living the dream. I'm against the next generation of consoles because I feel like we didn't even max out this generation yet, so a new generation isn't necessary at all. But they're gonna do what they're gonna do, and there's nothing we can really do about it. But I just wish that they would have taken a little bit more time to do it. Like I don't feel like a new generation is actually needed right now. Nah, Holiday 2020. So yeah, basically a year. Let me tell you something. The games that come out over the next year still aren't going to max out the Xbox One X. Like, that to me should have been when they started looking into a new generation of console. These developers aren't even maxing out the One X or the PS4 Pro. So why do you need an even more powerful console right now? Once you max that out, like, oh, we've done everything capable of like this technology, it's time to up it. But it's not how these things work. They just come out with new stuff. The specs are good, but that's really all we know. And honestly, like, look at the specs. So apparently there's going to be two Scarlet consoles. One's called Lockhart and the other one's called Anaconda. Anaconda is going to be the higher tiered one. The site also reports that the Anaconda price will be around $500. Oh, they're gonna, for sure. They're gonna keep... I always make the joke, because PlayStation's good for it. PlayStation always comes out with a really giant version of their console first, and then later on they come out with a really small version of their console. Like, so, you look at like the PlayStation, the Verse PlayStation, it was this giant thing, and they came out with the little PS1s, that were like real small. And then the PS2 was this monster of a box. Then they slimmed it down. PS3 was this giant box. They slimmed it down. PS4, same thing. So it's like they come out with these versions and then they go, oh crap, like we're not ready for a whole new console yet, but we can put some better technology in here. We can make it look a little bit better design-wise. Let's do it. Jamie, thank you for the follow. Very much appreciated. Welcome in. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you're doing well. Give yourself a big Ric Flair. Woo! So, like, it's gonna happen. Like, they're already talking about 2 different versions of the console. So, a lesser version, the Lockhart, and a better version of the Anaconda. So, they're saying that the Lockhart will be around $250, and the Anaconda will be $500. So, they're going to have huge hard drives, which is great. Everything looks good on them as far as the specs go, but you know, it is what it is. It's also weird that, like, so they just released the Xbox One S All Digital Edition not that long ago. Merch Room, thank you for the host. Should I play CMA and get their ass whipped? So in May, they just released the One S All Digital Edition. So uniform, tunic, hello. So when you take that into consideration, like, you're not... That console will only be just over a year and a half old by the time Scarlet comes out. Which is crazy to me. Like, it definitely just seems too soon, right? Thank you guys for the sparks, very much appreciated. But it just seems too soon for a new console. Like, a year and a half after you put out... You gotta turn in the iPhone. I mean, they usually go about, what, 5-6 years before they do another console? But when you put out a console and then you're constantly releasing new versions of the same console, I feel like you need to max out that console as far as your games and the capability, and before you do the next generation. Let's see, PS3 launch price. PS3 launched in 2006. In the US, the PS3 price was $599 for the 60GB variant. So it was $600 for the 60 gig. A 20 gig was $499. The 60 gig was $599. It also says that it was $100 higher than the retail price of Xbox 360. And it also said the $499 20 gig version lacked several features found in the more expensive one, and that's because the $4.99 version was the one that didn't come with backwards compatibility. So if you got the $600 version, you got a 60 gig hard drive, and you got backwards compatibility with your old PS2 games. So I mean, maybe the $100 was actually worth it. 40 more gigs on your hard drive, and the ability to keep playing your PS2 games if you wanted to. What do I think is the best what? Console? Like ever? That's tough. I mean, I'd have to give it to, like, probably PS2. PS2 really changed things. I think PS2 did what Sega was trying to do with Dreamcast, and I will fight to the death about Dreamcast being just too far ahead of its time. If Dreamcast would have released a little bit after the PS2, I think it would have, Sega would still be around making consoles. Popular Tuba, thank you for the follow. Very much appreciate it. Welcome in. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you're doing well. Give yourself a big Ric Flair. Woo! One Nation 503, thank you for the follow. Very much appreciate it. Welcome in. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you're doing well. Give yourself a big Ric Flair. Woo! Secret Salad 80, thank you for the follow. Very much appreciate it. Welcome in. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you're doing well. Give yourself a big Ric Flair. Woo! I normally stream wrestling and some other things. I stream a lot of different stuff, actually. Oh, I'm sure they're going to have an Elite controller. It's not gonna, like, you're probably gonna get about the same controller you have now, and then you'll have an Elite version, like they always do. I don't see them changing the design of the controller too much. So yeah. I don't know. Consoles are weird. Controllers are weird. I still think Dreamcast was way too ahead of its time. If online gaming would have took off in '99 the way it has since then, Dreamcast would have been the leading console because it had online capability before anyone else. But online wasn't as popular as it is now, and instead Dreamcast went the other way. These things happen. But that's going to do it for us tonight, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out, having fun with us. We'll try to do more of these. Do them more often, have some fun, hang out. Hopefully you guys had fun. I had fun talking. Thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you to all the new followers, all the hosts, likes and retweets on Twitter. You guys are amazing. And we'll see you right back here tomorrow for some ARC. We got ARC tomorrow and then the Magic co-stream on Friday. That should be really fun. So, we'll see you then. I love you all. Have yourselves a wonderful night and be well. And we'll see you right back here at midnight Eastern. Ganja Frog, thank you for that follow. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Hope you're doing well. Give yourself a big Ric Flair. Woo! Take care, everyone.